down. What do you think of that? Holy moly.
I pushed the trigger and nothing came out and I heard a boom. Like, that ain't good. And then I opened the side kit and that was it.
That fell out when you opened
Yeah,
it?
it hit my foot.
Looks like it's junk.
That's junk. We were gonna be done at 8:30 tonight, have an early night, and now we're Combine. Good morning. Quit being grumpy. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Another day of corn harvest. It's been going pretty smooth. Just doing a check. It's a new field, different variety. We have not harvested this yet. Looking behind the combine to see if we got any excessive losses. So far, I don't see anything, which is excellent, obviously. Oh, here's a loss. Here's a whole cob. Fell out of the head. Look at these boys. And I missed it. I'm out of position. So I'm full up here. He combines past me. We switch spots. He's gonna combine past. I'm now gonna back up and he's going to go where I was at, so then I can unload on the go, and really for the most part we don't stop. So it's really efficient having two corn combines. Limits down on how many times you gotta cut over. Anytime you cut over, there's losses. Woo! It's a long run. Wake me up, that's good though. I know I'm full. Look at how full I am. It's over the camera. Uh-oh. I heard some kernels coming on the cap. Take it easy here. I haven't had cap corn yet this year. Besides those few kernels, which is good. Brody's had a couple of accidents. Alright. And we're back to combining. Still giving her. So I know you guys watched us take the pre-cleaners out of the 790s. So it's like a 2-foot long, it's called the pre-cleaner, on top of the chaffer. We took those out, put some plastic fingers in right behind the shoe auger pre-cleaner, which is only like 1.5 feet long, over the top chaffer, or the chaffer. A lot of questions or comments, and I had people locally asking why we did it. I've had buddies that do it and said throughput is unbelievable when you do that, and I can verify. I suggest taking your pre-cleaner out. You get a better sample, and it separates way better. You can push bushels per hour. Unreal. The other night I was on one of my fields, and I thought, well, I'm going to just see what this thing can do. And got in some 220 bushel corn. It was, granted it was dry, it was 16 to 17%. And I pushed her down, gave her full engine load, and looked down, I was doing 5,800 bushel an hour. And I thought, well, I should get out and see what's behind it. Got out, nothing. Nothing besides head loss, which is what it is. So I couldn't do that last year with the pre-cleaner in. 5,000 was kind of, 4,800 to 5,000 was kind of where it was like, yeah, that's probably the limit. So I suggest doing it. In soybeans it worked great, and black beans it worked good. Corn it's working amazing. So that's a little tip for you guys. It's a free tip. Like, I mean, it's free. All you gotta do is unbolt it, pull it out. I shouldn't say that. We probably got $150 into putting those plastic fingers in behind the, but I mean, that you get some serious throughput. Granted, I am running the Estes concaves in this machine, but the other one is stock concaves, and we can only combine 4,000 bushels per hour. The leg system is for 8,000, so each combine we shoot for 4,000 to 4,300 per machine. Just, it works pretty good. If we started pushing more ground speed, more bushels per hour, we'd just be chasing our tail. So we just kind of drive the speed depending the corn yield and conditions. Drive the speed that the truck drivers stay busy and the leg never shuts off, and that's where you sit all day. For example, here doing 5.1, 5.2-ish. We're doing 4,500 bushels per hour, 44, 46. But the corn is really, really good here. We've seen yields from literally 40 on the headlands with field averages of 160, 170 to anywhere to 223 was our best field this year. And now I'm talking dry yields. So depending the yield of the field determines your ground speed you're going to push the machine for. All I would need is 4,300 bushel per hour, and that works good. You kind of swamp the grain carts. These are like holding bins for us. So instead of a 1,500 bushel cart that when it's full you need a truck there, these guys can roll around with 80, 90, 100, 130,000 pounds on them. Then when we get into more headlands, cut up fields, the truck drivers never know it because we got holding capacity in the field, and the trucks just keep going all day long. They've never stopped unless you're switching a field, which realistically doesn't slow down much because one cart's normally sitting at the field you just finished full and keeps filling trucks, and once they get to the next field there might be a little wait, but we've generally got a couple loads ready to roll. Hello! He's making fun of me for filming and talking with my hands, because I like to do that, you know? He's getting out. What was wrong?
It's jam.
There was something in there?
No, it's just jam. It's like way up here. Like that.
Yeah, I had that happen the other day on the gearing hop head. So this is what the ground senses off of this, and the head runs itself. And I was combining and loading on the go. All of a sudden the head flew all the way in the air, and I was cutting the corn right here above the cobs. Freaked out, shut the unload auger off. Brody, I was sitting right there obviously. Brody's head is doing the
Last time it
I'm
like you shoved it in the ground and she fixed the problem. But this time it won't go down.
Corn stalks get jammed in here, and then it thinks it's on the ground, and then it won't lower. Minor issue. What do you think of these things?
I love them.
They work?
They work great.
Oh man. What are they called again? The snout saver?
Snout savers. These are the snoot boots.
Brody's snoot boots.
I got another Kyle. I was there, but look how short it was.
You killed it. You're gonna combine it up again?
Do it, shred it. I don't want the garbage in my cart.
You have a rock box. There's another one up here somewhere, I believe.
No, I'll wait till you get there. I'm not hunting for it.
I'll just run it over again.
That's $6, Brody, and it was a good one.
Take it out of your check. What was wrong with the beast?
There's a corn stalk shoved in here and holding us back. We're back.
It was really freaking with him. His head was...
What's the job between
I've looked behind mine. It was doing excellent.
Where did you look?
When we started, you know, the responsible thing when you get to a field.
I didn't see you get out.
Oh, I got out. You were, I don't know what you were doing. Slacking again.
What are you at, 34?
Yeah. Let's go. Cart driver saying, let's go. I'm full. So, yesterday, Gearing Hoff came out. They seen my story on Instagram of the harvest sweep saving grain, and they're like, you got lots of head loss? And I'm like, oh, I don't think any more than any other stock head. Well, they didn't like seeing my story, so they came out, they put different gathering chains on. So they put 6 paddle chains instead of the what it comes with, the 9 paddle chains. Actually, it feeds better, or less trash comes in the head with the 6 paddle, and there's less paddles for it to obviously shell corn on. So the 9 paddle is, from my understanding, more of a down corn. You'd want the 9 paddle for down corn, more paddles to bring it in. But in good harvesting conditions like this, the 6 paddle works just great, just fine, actually really good, and brings less trash in, less stuff for the cobs to hit. So we did reduce some head loss behind this, but it don't have the fancy kit on that saves grain, which it does work. Yesterday, after we replaced the paddles, we had in a 40 square foot area, so 5 by 8 square box, we had 110 kernels in that area. Behind Brody's head, it had 34 kernels. So that harvest sweep is saving grain. There's no doubt about it. And that's what the kit's for. It's supposed to save grain. So I'm not unsatisfied with the head loss behind this head. I'm honest about that. I mean, you're going to have head loss. But I am very pleased with that harvest sweep. Look at this corn. It's still green right here. And it's dang good. This is an old grove site that was tore down, oh gosh, when I was a kid. And it's still producing. A lot of P&K there. Corn loves lots of fertilizer. So there is a lot of it in that area still. So that was like 240 bushel corn through that little stretch, which is amazing for the drought that it's been. So we've been all over the board on yields. Basically follows the rainfall. But even with lack of rain, it apparently loves fertilizer. This is something I haven't seen in 8 years, Brody. The FFA boys are here.
The biggest cart dumping in one of
the biggest cart made. Gonna dump into the smallest, well, I don't know if it's the smallest, but. So the local FFA kids, this is what they do in the fall time. They go around to all farmers in the area, farmers they know, maybe just drop in on some, and you donate crop, corn generally, and then they bring it to the elevator and sell it for the FFA program, correct?
Correct.
You used to do this?
Yes, I used to do this. You always feel really bad for the pickup that's pulling and grabbing.
He was told to give him 100 bushels, so
we're in the wrong direction here.
This is horrible. Dust. Cheese wings. I took one to the eye. Next time, can you boys bring a bigger cart?
Yeah, we'll try. Here's a gift bag for you.
You gotta fill the amount that you put in here, how many bushels.
Okay, sounds good. I'll ask him. I told him next time to show up with a bigger wagon.
Right? I gave him kind of a lot. Don't tell anyone else. Am I supposed to have a pen? All I got is fuses in here because that's all this thing
here,
goes.
this will work. Douglas pencil.
What is this?
I don't know. You write that in there.
Oh my. Where do they want it? Donation amount. Let's go to my big load, 6,400 pounds.
You didn't get it full.
Yeah, there's room. You want more? What's this?
They're gonna leave their trailer here, the gravity box here, because they gotta go back to school and eat lunch, I guess.
Oh.
Otherwise they're gonna get yelled at.
Hold on,
Okay.
Is this what our schools are feeding kids nowadays? Let's see what we got. Oh, this ain't healthy. We're supposed to grow kids on this? There's more candy than fruit in here. Maybe I should go back to school.
Give them some Northern Chills.
There you go.
How many we got in there?
4.
4 of them.
They can,
Four young lads that need hydration.
they can drive with an open container?
All right, boys, don't drink it all in one sitting.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. You stepped on my bag.
We got a little pair. about ready to break off.
You stepped on my bag of goodies.
So you just chucked this out, right?
The apple?
Ooh! You have Reese's?
Hey, there's letters.
You have Reese's?
I can't eat those.
Yeah, if you have them, can I have it? I'll trade you for,
We're trading goodies now.
can you eat these?
I think so.
Or you can have a Chewy. Probably can't eat that either.
No, chocolate. No dairy, Brody.
Well,
Here, I'll give you my smashed apple that you stepped on. Oh,
Maybe-
here's a Kit Kat. I can't eat that.
maybe we should give Brian.
Oh, I
something.
used to love these.
Maybe you could give
Look
one
at this. I'm getting jipped on.
Here you go.
Oh,
Here you go.
what's this?
You can't have that either.
Oatmeal raisin. I don't want that either. Hello.
Hey! You think Brian wants any? You gotta get Brian something.
Brian. Brian's mad he didn't get it on it.
One guy he's wants an apple. You can't. Oh. Hey, no. How much more you want? I like it.
Oh. That's kind of fun. That was cool. Thanks for stopping, guys. Oh, they weren't joking. They did leave the wagon. I hope they got a tarp on their little wagon. Oh, the smearing. Oh. Good thing I didn't clean my windows today. Waiting. Tile flag. Interruption right here's the tile flag. Brian, you can't see it, but the flag is moving through the corn. He's got her. Now once you verify your man is out of the corn so you don't harm anybody out here, you combine over it. If it's plastic, you do not drive, well, you can combine over it. Oh, he's found a rock. If they're concrete, you don't want your wheels to drive over it. You can combine over it, but it cannot be where your wheels are driving because the concrete will actually crush down into the dirt and crack and break either the main line or the top one. So you don't want to drive over, so they verify if it's cement or plastic. Plastic just flexes it, it don't hurt it at all. So we got hand signals. Don't drive over it. Full set. I just made that up, but we do radio each other. All right, we got done with that field, and I was on an important phone call, and I missed it, but a massive snow squalor came through. What's a snow squalor? I think I'm saying that right. It's when you can't see 30 feet because it's snowing so hard. It's warm enough, though, that it melted, but the flakes were like this big, and Brody was sitting 30 feet away, and we barely could see each other. But it only lasted for about 3 minutes. It's snowing again. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It wasn't nearly as bad as the last snow spell that come through, but it's really foggy over there. It's more like sleet than snow this time. All right, we're to the spot in the field where we did a furrow force closing system, precision furrow force closing system versus deer closing system. We're gonna get our buckets. We flag tested it this spring when it was emerging, and we're gonna run out there and rip some stocks and see what we see. He's got the buckets.
Remember last time we did this and the mud on our boots and everything?
Yes, it was horrible, and I remember how Grandpa ground them all up, shelled them all off through our hand corn sheller, and ruined the whole test plot.
Yep.
So hopefully this year, everyone knows this is a big deal. It's nice that it rained and snowed on us here.
Yeah.
All right, Brody, so what we did this spring was we marked 17.5 feet off. That gives us the population of the field. I have all these wrote down in the shop. Today what we're gonna do, we got 4 buckets, 4 different days. The flags are indicating which day the corn surfaced or came through the ground, peeked out. So we're gonna put all the day 1 flags in day 1 bucket, day 2, day 3, day 4, weigh it, show the comparison. This is for our information to know if it pays for itself or not, which I'm sharing with you. So green, we need all green ears in a bucket.
Okay, here's day 1.
Okay, day 1. All right, we got them all picked here. So here's our day 1 bucket. That's what emerged on day 1. Here is the day 2 bucket. day 3 bucket, and then only one in the day 4 bucket. This was furrow force here. So here's a day 1 cob versus a day 2 cob, and they kind of vary a little bit, but you can definitely see that the day 1, the one by my thumb, is definitely rounder. Here's day 1 cob versus day 4 cob. There's a difference there. So this is the importance. You want all your corn to emerge as close as possible, otherwise they get in competition of each other, and the big one obviously wins. It's like the runt of the litter. So that's what we're doing. Now the difference is, this is furrow force that I'm on. They are 12 rows that way on deer closing. The difference we're trying to see is if the closing system makes a difference in yield. We also are going to combine down probably in this area here. We're going to both get empty, combine a pass, and we're going to dump off, and we're going to see which closing system has the better yield. Now this is over all of our acres, but this is the spot I chose to do the test. Okay, right now I'm going to do the side-by-side with my machine, so there's no variables between the harvest sweeps on the other head. We're going to have the same losses. I'm going to go the same speed. I'm going to put it right at 4.7, and we're going to go 4.7. I'm not going to vary the speed. We're going to be consistent, and we're going to go down here. I was totally empty. We're going to dump it on the cart. We're going to check weight, and then I'm going to combine that right down over here, which was the deer closing system, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so I just did the furrow force pass. My camera died halfway through, so it is what it is. I seen one variable that I find concerning. I'll show you that when I get there. I'm going to do the deer closing system next. So we got that weight off the cart and wrote that down. I'm going to combine back. I'm empty again. I'm combining back down to the south on the deer, and we're going to weigh and compare. So once again, going the same speed, heading back to the south. Here's our variable. That pass drowned it out. It's thin here. That drowned it out. That don't have anything to do with our bucket test, because the corn was not drowned out. It was consistent and nice there. But our half-mile pass, there's a drowned out in half of it. So I might have to do this in a different area of the field, but we will see. But that could be a variable right there. A variable that it was not planter error. It was Mother Nature killed the crop. So I'm looking at my yield, or my load, so it counts every time I load it up and unload it. Gives you the average moisture, gives you the bushels per acre. We will see what we come up with here when we unload. Okay, so now we unload, read it, and it's an instant known which pass did better. Like I said, it's an unfair with that drowned out. It's unfair to furrow force. Or if it was the other way around, it'd be unfair to deer. But if furrow force still wins, then it's even that much better. A add-on product, I guess. We'll see though.
20,620.
So deer wins. 20,620. First one was 20,140. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. On top of that, my strikeout was on a drowned out. Did you see that?
Right here? No, I didn't notice. You mean the furrow force was a drowned out?
Yeah, I went through where half the head didn't have no corn in for 100 feet.
Great. Yeah, that's 8.5 bushels less. How many acres was in that pass?
Got a copy, Eric?
Yeah.
On a full half mile, it's 1.7 acres with 12 rows. I always figured 3.4 acres if you did a full round.
Okay, 10-4. That comes out to about 5 bushels. not pending the drown out. You want to do this variety thing now since we're thinking around?
I suppose let's go see what variety challenger comparisons we can have. That sounds fun since this was a wasted attempt. I feel like I've wasted everyone's time with this whole last who knows how many minutes.
Finding another thorough force of comparison where it's even across the field.
Yeah, we're not done yet, boys. Don't be disheartened yet. It's there was variables from Mother Nature involved. All right, now we're gonna do a
Our
side by
research
side.
and development team has got to go back. Yeah, son of a gun. There's too many variables.
A lot of variables out here. All right, now we are doing a variety check. We have some 93 day out here that we are combining as I sit here, and right over there we have 101 day. So we are going to compare varieties and see which one can spank the other. But we have to take into consideration this line I'm on right here is ferroforce. This right here is deer. So I'm going to skip 12 on my way back so that that variable is eliminated. You see how technical this is? And they're always talking on the radio. All right, doing the second test. Just combined the 101 day versus the 93 day. It is different competitor seed companies. I'm not going to name which one's which. The combine has it as the 93 day was 221.8 bushel per acre. This 101 day says 223.6 bushel per acre. Now that's dry, with the computer doing all that. The scale has been representing this within like 100 pounds, so I pretty much already know which one won, which is good to know. I mean, why plant a 100 day and risk early frost when you can plant a 93 day? Well, this is why you risk that early frost, because yield. Basically, well, 12 bushel better, potentially. All right, the official numbers of wet grain there come in at 6.4 bushel better the 100 day was. Mr. Monitor was not correct, but that don't lie. Dump it on there. That thing is like right on the nuts. So there's the official numbers of that test strip. I know what we're planting next year more of. That is, if we ain't planting in end of May. So that's something that we don't normally do, you know, like show in detail decisions made behind the scenes of our farm that you guys don't get to see. So that's kind of the gist of it. You know, you plant X amount of different varieties, however many, every farm's different. We plant, I don't know, I suppose a dozen different varieties, maybe 3 different seed brands, 3 to 4. And we do these side-by-sides occasionally, especially if they're both in the same field right next to each other. We will occasionally do that because you have an instant, we know what did better. And then sometimes you make the business decision for the next year. We're going to plant more of, say, the 101 day versus the 93 day. But variables change with every year. We returned a lot of our 101 day this year because we were scared we weren't going to have a long enough season, and we actually planted 89 day, and that's the length of how many days it takes to mature. I don't know if that's exactly the number of days, but that's how they rate that. We had a lot of heat units this year, and we maybe should have planted all our 100 day. Long and the short of it is, because that was kick butt yields right there. That's pretty cool. But with that being said, that's a business decision that you're trying to pre-predict how the year's going to go. You're going to get heat. Is it going to be a cold summer? You're going to get the heat units you need. You're going to get warm nights. All stuff you don't know. I don't know. No farmer knows. It's all something that it's a guess. Use the years of knowledge from older farmers, for myself, your agronomists. There's a lot to know, and you can't know it all, so you kind of lean on your agronomists and seed salesmen to advise you what to do. But yeah, there's a lot of decisions like this, and there's some other tests we're going to be doing with some other fertilizer stuff later here, maybe tomorrow, depending how the route goes on fields. Coming up to a tile. Oh, it don't have a flag on it. Now the decision: do we mow it down or do we better pull it? I don't have a cart by me. I like this type of stuff. It's cool. Well, the day's been going so good, and we were just mid-pass right here, and Brody said something happened. Oh my! What did we snap? She's down. What do you think of that?
Holy moly! What does that do?
That drives the unload system. Holy clean brake. We have, I would say we have mass deconstruction of the unload system.
Okay?
Mass deconstruction of the load system. Well, I know where you're going.
I pushed the trigger and nothing came out, and I heard a boom. Like, that ain't good. And then I opened the side kit.
That fell out when you opened
Yeah,
it?
it hit my foot.
No way! Well, here's the shear bolt that's supposed to break.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't shear. Now I'm fully loaded, and that's not good.
Not good. We've got mass deconstruction of a machine. We're down and we need trumbull repair. Well, where the belts tighten up on that pulley that drives the unload auger chain, snap clean off. Shaft is broke completely off. The bolt never sheared and it snapped it right off. Alright, well, update. Sounds like this ain't an unheard of thing that happens. So I'm gonna Air Force One. I'm gonna let Brody drive you. Brian's gonna stay out here with you. So I'm gonna take that combine home and maybe run it down to get parts so we can either fix tonight or in the morning. Why it broke, I don't know. Maybe a bad shaft. But I guess it ain't uncommon, and they keep the parts on hand, so it must be a fairly common situation. What do you think of that? That's pretty impressive, ain't it?
Looks like it's junk.
That's junk.
Look at
We're supposed to be done. Yeah. That's why we are in the boat we're in now, or the bus we're in. Yeah, we were gonna be done at 8:30 tonight, have an early night, and now we're broken. Well, I'm still on the hunt for parts with all the after hours guys wrecking their night. It's now 8:20 at night. Don't look like we'll be getting that fixed tonight, but I'm trying to get parts in the morning. I think Mitch is gonna come out to help, but my job right now is to find parts, so I have them here at early in the morning for him to work on it, get that thing back in the field. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. It was an awesome video I enjoyed shooting today. It was exciting and a lot of stuff going on. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.